Hey there Ninja! Welcome back to my channel once again, and in today's video we're going to address another question. So if you're interested, keep on watching. Our question for today is, do interviewers prefer long answers or just short answers? That's a very good question, because when you get to an interview, then obviously there are times when you will answer in a storytelling mode or you will answer in just a one-liner mode. It depends on the question, okay? Do interviewers prefer long answers or short ones? They don't have preference for sure, because it depends on the type of question that they ask. But how I gauge it is like this. If the interviewer asks you an open-ended question, meaning that question asks you to tell a certain story, then obviously the interviewer expects you to answer a longer form of answer, not necessarily going around in circles. Of course, that's a no-no, but a longer answer that will allow you to explain better or to disclose more about your experience. For example, if the question starts with, tell me about a time when you had to deal with an irate customer. Tell me about a time when you had to take a responsibility that's not supposed to be yours. You know those things. Or questions like, can you tell me more about your previous job experience? Those open-ended questions allow you to explain what you have experienced in your previous job or in previous experiences that you have. So as long as you explain well without repeating what you have already said, like you have an introduction, you have the body of your story, and you have the conclusion or the ending, then you should be good. Long answers should be good. However, if the interviewer will ask you one-liner questions or closed-ended questions, then obviously you can answer with shorter answers. Those questions answerable by yes or no, then of course you can answer with yes or no. But be careful and be more open to answering a little bit more than just yes or no. So interviewers will actually prefer for you to open up, although too much information is just that, too much. You don't have to disclose everything. When you're getting interviewed, especially in the call center or BPO industry, they're also secretly judging your English communication skills. So when you answer in a fluent manner or when you're able to communicate your message well, that means that you're a good communicator, that you're able to converse or interact in English spontaneously. So that's a good sign that you are a good candidate for the position. But if you're speaking in a terse manner, like just one-liner, even though the question is really asking you to tell a story, then that's not a good sign at all. The interviewer will think that you are not able to express yourself well because you're just answering in one-liners or yes or no. Like if the interviewer will already ask you, yes, can you tell me more about that? Or will ask you a follow-up question from an original question wherein you're supposed to give more details, then that's probably not a good sign, because they have to prod you, they have to really get some answers from you and get you to talk more about your experience. So I know it's quite tricky, but you will definitely get to master the art of answering interview questions as you go along with your experience. I'm not saying you go to all interviews that you can think of, but you know, it's actually also good to try applying and see how it works for you as an applicant. There is also a comment on my previous video about call center interview and answers telling me that my answers were good but they are too long. Now, again, going back to my previous point, If you're asked questions that will allow you or will obviously ask you to tell a story, then by all means tell a story. You will know if it's already too long or too short. My answers were generally longer in that video that I made before, but that's because the questions are also questions that will really need you to answer in a longer form. So it's okay as long as you're able to express yourself well. So to recap that, I don't think interviewers have preference to longer or shorter answers. Just make sure that you're able to explain what you need to explain, your answers are complete, you're not going around in circles, or you're not repeating what you have already said. And you are telling a story if you're asked to tell a story. And just base it on how the interviewer asked the question. Then you should be good. If you need more help about answering call center interview questions, if you need more sample answers, how to answer behavioral questions, I have so many videos about that, including tricky or out-of-the-box questions. Just go to my playlist about job application and also playlist about job interview. You will learn so much about interview tips and how to answer job interview questions. So, as usual, if you like this content, don't forget to like, subscribe if you haven't yet. Don't forget the notification bell so that you'll be notified for my next video. Remember, we have videos every Tuesdays and Fridays. See you again on my next one. Take care and bye-bye.